Alright, so we basically try out the co-op, the Shinru co-op. So we have Excalibur, Skodong, and myself. Previously I have posted the video where it was like a perfect run, so we managed to complete it within 10 minutes and just 4 or 5 turns. But this time we thought, hey, why not let's try doing Destroth run, which means that we cannot activate Blizzard Plus at all, which means the enemy must die before they hit 70%. And the only way to do that is actually to bring Anna Crow and let her deal 70 to 80 million damage and kills the enemy right on the spot. So here we have, in order to do that, Scott has to use Penelo because he is the last character in the party, so he has Luna Freya's call in order to provide quick prayers buff to Anna Crow. So I was using Charlotta basically to provide the BT effect so that Anna would actually cap on damage. But okay, that was like, you know, initially in our mind, this should be the perfect run. Like the whole idea is simple, right? Penelo, supercharging, and then just pass turn to Anna Crow. Before that, we have Charlotta supposedly to do FR echoes to bring the enemy, like, you know, not too low, not too high, maybe around 70 plus damage, HP. Then after that, we have Anna Crow and kill them around the spot. So it sounds perfect, but I can tell you when we are executing this run, it was really messy. We did a lot of mistakes here and there, which is something that I emphasized before. When you look at the videos that content creator posted, it is not like we did it in one run. We did a lot of try and error, and you know, before we get the perfect run and before we post it out. So this is a very good example to showcase that we aren't actually perfect as well. There's actually a lot of mistakes done. So one of it was actually what I did here. I did a mistake here is that I used Charlotta's S1 and EX to the point that I, you know, to the point where Penelo's speed buff fell off, and that kind of like reshuffled the turn because it's supposed to be Penelo's turn and then Charlotta. So that was a problem there. But luckily, now that Penelo uses his Roomba and provides Charlotta back the speed buff, then the turn got reshuffled again. And then here we have Penelo, Anna, and Penelo. I was actually expecting Scott to use Penelo's LD here, and then after that to supercharge, then use the BT at the end before passing her turn to Charlotta. But I was pretty surprised that he used the BT here, and that's because we found out that he removed the speed passive on Penelo's S2 regen walls, and so that he doesn't have to use a skill, and will then ensure that the HP damage bonus will be optimized before he passes the turn to Charlotta, right? So, and he actually screwed up quite big here. You can look at it. Okay, now he will be using his FR. Alright, so okay, so here Penelo uses FR. Alright, the animation is killing me. But I can tell you, overall, it was really a fun run doing co-op with your friends. We kind of like know what we want to do, but there are just so many things that was unexpected. Like this one was also unexpected. Like, why would you waste a turn using Luna Freya's call and not get... Sorry, right? I mean, you get the HP damage bonus, but I wasn't expecting him to use Luna Freya's call. But the whole idea here is basically he doesn't want to waste his BT phase. So by the time he charged everything completely, so he would still have the BT phase for Anna Crow to use. Right? So, okay. So he's still supercharging. Yeah, I know pretty much why people hate this because it's taking so damn long. Alright, so look at that. He uses the regen walls, and Penelo's turn freaking jump in between Shilotar and a crow. And that was not something that we expect. Right, so that was pretty bad. And here I did another attack here with Shilota's FR, and it actually brings the enemy HP like from 90 plus to 80. So I kind of like stunned here a little bit, like should I be using my FR again, because I will certainly bring the enemy below 70% and would trigger Blizzard Plus. So it took me quite a while and I decided to use Chuck Stuff, but that bring it down to 69%, and basically we failed the run. So the problem is that we did not bring any calls like paralysis, like Raijin call. So now the debuff from the enemy from their counter is actually a problem, because if we get inflicted by freeze debuff, then that's it. We will not be able to do, you know, any damage at all. So so yeah, Scott continued to supercharge a little bit more, and then try to deal as much damage as possible, because we know there's no escaping the freeze debuff that will be coming at us next. Right, so he waited a bit long. I think he was like thinking what he should do, and finally he decided to use Fatal Dance. Alright, and here we got hit by Blizzard Plus. And you got to know, the thing is that we did not do this with a Discord voice chat. So it's really at a point like I'm reading your mind and you're like reading my minds. And here the lucky thing was Anna Crow has so much frame buff that the freeze debuff did not stick on her. But nonetheless, we did not manage to deal 70 million, so it was just 48. And one of the reasons is because Xcal forgot to use Anna Crow's AA, alright, which increases her brave damage. So he forgot to use that, and he ended up not having enough damage to kill it in one shot. And now Anna is frozen, so her damage will be pathetic. Right, so she's dealing that, and that is the last, and it's only 11 million. So then you say sorry, but right. So anyway, during this phase we kind of like freak out a little. So Scott messaged me over Telegram. He said that okay, Shilota got to go into her BT phase, right? Because we don't want to get frozen. So if I enter my BT phase, then I will be able to continue deal damage to them and probably kill them without getting any form of debuff. And because he is using Penelo, so Penelo will be able to pass her turn to Shilota without dealing brave damage. That's because he removed the speed passive, as I mentioned earlier. Right? And then suddenly he just uses Evanescence, and that kind of freaked me out as well. I was expecting him to like fast charge at this point. That's because the enemy's turn A and B is there. So if we wanted Penelo to pass turn to Shilota, then like personally I wouldn't want the enemy to take turn, but I guess it doesn't really matter. That's why he did it that way. So since I have to ready for my BT phase, so I decided to use LD so that I get, you know, more Chuck Stuff to use during Shilota's BT phase. And here, because we were discussing that Penelo will be right. So we were just discussing that Penelo will supercharge, fast charge, and then supercharge and pass the turn to Shilota. And the next thing, Xcal pulled me right up with Rain's Call. And now that, you know, Anna Crow's turn is after the summon phase, then he will do a brave damage on the enemy, and then the enemy will counter us with freeze debuff. So we were like, what is going on? So yeah, so that's the mistake that Xcal did there as well. So it was really funny that when we were doing this, I mean, there's no stress. We were just, I mean, I don't know whether they were laughing or not, but for me, I was just laughing the hell out of this. It's like, hey, a mistake after another, after another. Alright, so now back to my turn, and then it only hit me that I actually bring a Ramuh summon. So Ramuh summon is really good here because it inflicts frame paralysis on an enemy, and once they are stunned, they cannot counter back with freeze debuff. So then I was like, hey, this is not the end. We won't lose. Since it's only just my turn, I have Ramuh, so anything after that, basically we will be able to damage the enemy. So all we need to do is just enter another FR phase, and we are done. Right, so I had no choice, so I have to use that because it's frozen anyway. Okay, so basically from here on is pretty much the puzzle is solved. Like, we don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, so you can just continue and watch until the end of the video. It's just another 2 minutes. But the whole experience here, it was actually pretty fun. Video co-op is actually not that bad, but that is only if you arrange the run with your friends. You kind of know what they are doing, so it's not like entirely random. And you kind of fit into each other's play. So you can look back into the video that I just posted where we managed to do a pretty much perfect run where Scott just straight up use Xcal BT and then King jump in the air, and then I stall turn in order to increase the force gauge, and then back to Xcal, he direct enter FR into BT phase, and then we win the fight very fast. So that was actually, yeah, that was actually unplanned. Like, we did not plan for that. So Scott knew what was Xcal trying to do, so he just go all out right from the start, and that was pretty interesting that we managed to pull that out. Alright, so enjoy the run. I will put this in my infographic because the usage of Ramuh here pretty much saved the day, and it's worth a mention that Ramuh summon is actually very important in this fight. If you lack mock, or if you lack calls that have stun, we still have a stun from summon, and you can, if you do not have Ramuh at the max level, then you can just grind and you will have it, right? It's not like it is locked. So yeah, thank you very much and have a good day, guys.
使っちゃおう。おー。